All right, we're going to dive deep into a moment that was, without a doubt, a national crisis. We're talking about the violent assassination attempt on President Donald Trump. Based on all the documented reports, we're going to look at exactly what went down, how the threat was neutralized, and the huge conversation that it sparked around the globe.
To really get this, you have to try and picture the scene. You've got this high-profile media gala happening in Washington, D.C. It's supposed to be a celebratory night, right? But then in just an instant, it all just descends into complete chaos. The source material puts it perfectly. The whole atmosphere was just transformed by intense panic.
So first up, let's talk about the attack at the gala itself. We're going to break down the core facts of what actually happened, who was involved, and how did this incredibly chaotic event even unfold in the first place.
The facts here are pretty stark. The target was President Donald Trump. And the location, this crowded, high-profile media gala, well, that just added a whole other layer of complexity and danger to an already terrifying situation. The gunman was identified in the reports as Cole Tomas Allen. And here's a really crucial point. He was successfully apprehended by security right there at the scene, which was key to preventing any more harm. And that brings us to the security response, which, was absolutely everything in that moment. So how in the world did they manage to get this incredibly dangerous situation under control so quickly? Let's take a look. Okay, so this all happened incredibly fast. The gunman tries to get inside the venue. Then a security official is hit by gunfire. But the security team, they move in immediately. They apprehend the assailant, and they get the president evacuated safely. That is a textbook response under the most extreme pressure you can possibly imagine. This really breaks it all down for us. You can see the outcomes for the key people involved. President Trump was evacuated completely unharmed. The assailant, Cole Tomas Allen, was taken into custody. And the security official, while injured, thankfully survived. And this is a detail that just cannot be overstated. The reports specifically point out that the injured official's life was saved because of their protective gear. It's just such a powerful reminder of how important that equipment is and the kinds of risks these individuals face every single day. Now, this is where the story takes an even more startling turn. When you think about the location of this attack, well, the venue itself has a deeply disturbing history, which just adds a whole other dimension to this event. So that makes you wonder, right? What is it about this particular place? Why was this specific location so significant, adding this heavy layer of history to the attack? Because believe it or not, this very same venue was the site of the assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan way back in 1981. It is an absolutely chilling parallel. You have two American presidents targeted at the exact same location decades apart. Just incredible. That stunning historical fact just amplified the shockwaves from this event. So let's kind of zoom out now and look at the global conversation that followed, because this discussion went way, way beyond just the headlines.
The point here is that this wasn't just some domestic U.S. incident. No way. This attack immediately kicked off a major global conversation. It forced media and governments all over the world to really confront some tough realities about political violence and the security of our leaders. And that global conversation really focused on two key themes. First, there was this widespread concern about the escalation of political hostility, and second, a really practical and urgent discussion about the need for much more rigorous safety measures for world leaders.
And that really brings us to our final thought here. An event like this is shocking all on its own, of course. But when it happens in a place where it has happened before, well, it forces us to ask a much deeper question, doesn't it? When history repeats itself this directly, at the exact same location, what is the lesson we are meant to learn from it?